Hello all, Anita Quest here. Thank you for taking time to join me today. The first thing I would like to say is I am not an attorney, I am not a paralegal, I am not in the legal profession at all, and what I'm about to share with you is not to be taken as legal advice. I am simply a person who had a disturbing brush with the juvenile court system in a matter of custody here in Franklin County, which is headed up by Judge Stroud. Our magistrate was Magistrate Jill Matthews, and she assigned us a guardian ad litem. Her name was Elise. It was very disturbing indeed, and I would just like to share some of my information with you, and maybe that will help you to avoid some of the pitfalls that we didn't know existed. Our backstory is that my husband and I lost our oldest child to cancer 10 years ago. His wife is an alcoholic and soon lost control of her life and ended up signing our grandchildren over to a sister. It's supposed to be a temporary arrangement. The sister went down behind everyone's back and got full custody, and that led us to where we were today, having to file a lawsuit that lasted for 2 years. What another information I would like to give you: if you have a grievance with an attorney, a magistrate, or a judge, you can officially report them to the disciplinary council here in Franklin County. If you go ahead and Google them, they will guide you through how to file that grievance. Okay, so thank you. Let's get started. Hi there. Thank you for joining. Okay, so when you're dealing with something as serious as child custody, you think that among the litigants all things are equal, and you go in and it's going to be fair, and nothing could be further from the truth. The moment you walk in, the moment the magistrate walks in, you're being assessed and sized up and examined and all in these types of things. What you need to understand is that the magistrates, they're just people. So when they come into that courtroom and they're doing their job, they bring in all their life experiences with them. They bring in their beliefs, their prejudices, their religions, just things, their dislikes, their pet peeves. All of that travels in there with them. Do not ever believe that they left it outside, because that would be a mistake for you to do that. I thought that all things we were going to be judged fairly. I was very disappointed. When you find out who your magistrate is, Google them, because a magistrate had to be an attorney first, so they have to have some kind of history. Google them, try to find out as much as you can about them. You will not be able to switch out magistrates based on what you find out, but at least you will know who you're facing, and that may turn out to be very valuable to you. When you walk into the courtroom, magistrates up here, their bench is up here, you're down here. I always thought that was so they could see everything that was going on in the courtroom, make fair decisions, and look at body language. I don't believe that anymore. When the podium is up here, the bench, it is here so that you know your position in the room, that you know who that person is and know who you are to that person. That's why the bench is up here. Because during our trial, not during this assessment, but during our trial, our magistrate was Jill Matthews. Her head was down 80% of the time. Now, she could have been looking at something on the desk. Maybe there's some kind of type or something going by. I'm not sure. But her head was down 80% of the time. So I think she's up there. I don't know if she's reading, if she's doing a crossword puzzle, doodle jump, or I don't know. All I know is that her head was down. And so during this assessment, this is our first time meeting her. We're presenting while we're there the court case, hoping to get a guardian ad litem, which we did. And that's going to be the next video. That's part of the drama here. But what I want you to be prepared for, or what we weren't prepared for, was when you first walk in, that you're being assessed. Okay? Now, there are certain things that really didn't play well in our court case. And one of the things was that my husband and I, we filed for custody against an aunt. Now, my husband and I, we're grandparents. Grandparents have no rights. So we felt as if, and there will be things throughout the case, because we're going to share all of our transcripts and documents and everything, so that you can actually see and experience what we went through. But because we have no rights, us filing this case was a waste of time. And we felt like that's how the magistrate felt, and that's why we were treated the way that we were. And that's the way our case, that's why it traveled the way that it did. It brought offense to the court. We are wasting our time. We have no rights. We should not be here. Okay? So we lost ground on that, just being concerned citizens, concerned senior citizens. Our grandchildren are being mentally and emotionally abused. But I guess, and our son, he's gone. So, what do you do? But we felt that that was offensive to the court, and it felt that way the entire time. So we lost ground on that. The second thing was, the one thing that I would like to say is there are no cameras in juvenile court. Now, if you don't have a stenographer or court reporter in there, one time or another, there will be audio recordings, but there's no video. Now, they tell us that there's no video because to protect the rights and the identities of the people in the courtroom, but we all know that they can be positioned to where those identities will be protected. So in my mind, that's not why. After experiencing what I experienced, I believe that there's no video in the room, because if there was a recording in the room, you'd catch the magistrate doing this or this. And of course they don't want to see that, because then that's just proof. So the reason that there's no video is not to protect us and our children, is to protect them. So the next thing with us being a grandparent, okay, if we're a blended couple and I'm the only brown person in the room, my husband's white, everyone else is white, that drew the magistrate's attention, I'm sure. And that didn't play well. It didn't play well as far as the way I was treated, or the assumptions that I had certain stereotypical behaviors. So the person on the other side, of course, played into that. And all she had to do was speak it, say I was angry or I was loud. And that fine crack went through the entire case. The magistrate attached herself to that, and so did the guardian ad litem. And I'll show you what I mean about that. And that's only because that's really what they believe when they see a brown person. They believe that as a brown woman, I'm out of control, I'm loud, I'm bossy. They just kind of went into that. I prefer to think of myself as strong, and I can be unconquerable. I mean, I'm not going to let you push me around, but I'm not going to grab a pop can or something, swinging around. Whatever their stereotypical beliefs are is what they saw when they saw me, and it traveled through the court case. Okay, so again, we're a blended couple. We are a couple. The young lady over here, she came in alone. She has a husband, but he couldn't be bothered to support her in the case. He didn't come to the preliminary, and he didn't come to any of the hearings. But how that plays out in the court is, we're two, she's one. We're two, along with the big bossy black woman, and she's one. So that didn't play out too well either, because they tried to link into that and start speaking more stereotypes into fruition. And it just kept going. It was pretty disgusting. The next thing, again, I'm educated, I'm outspoken. That translates into loud, bossy, and obnoxious. There's nothing I can do about that. We just lost ground on just my appearance alone. And again, once you link into those stereotypes, if that's what they believe, they'll follow it to the end. This lady, she's younger. I didn't say healthier, I said younger. Grandparents, shouldn't have brought the case, we have no rights. Loud, bossy grandma, I guess I should. Instead of worrying about my grandchildren and worrying about their lives, ahead of them, I should be baking cookies. We're a couple, she's alone. The only thing left is our appearance. Beyond this, when you go into court, and this is what I've learned for myself, we don't have really expensive clothes. My favorite tag is, or my favorite label, whatever you want to call it, is 75% off, 90% is better. That's how we live. I've grown out of that part of my life where I need expensive things to prove how successful I am. My husband and I wore casual clothes. I don't think our outfits were $20 to, put his clothes with mine. But this person walks in with, I don't know, leggings and a t-shirt or something, and automatically that reflects back on us, because even though we are wearing $20 worth of garment here, we are considered, now we're arrogant and we're pushy, and we're just simply because of what we wore, because somehow this person coming in on a sunny day as if she was out in the rain, somehow that reflects back on us. And so we tried to navigate this hostile territory through this first hearing. It was July 22nd of 2020. We were assigned to guard ad litem, and the next time we were to be back in court was going to be 8 weeks after that. It was really shameful. It was really something that was so out there. It was belligerent. You'll see that when you see the our transcripts. But I am not going to repeat myself, and I'm not going to keep you. That was just the mistakes that we made about going into the courtroom naive and thinking that the litigants were all equal. Don't believe that. Talk to your attorney and get as much advice as you can about that first preliminary hearing, because once they see you in the way that they see you, that's the way they're going to see you throughout the case. And when they do things to bring the stereotypical fantasies to life, they will attach to that because they are comfortable believing it and pushing that particular notion. So, talk to your attorney, ask those hard questions, and if they're a good attorney, they'll advise you accordingly. Okay, so I'm not going to keep you. Our next video is going to be about the guard ad litem. That is going to be a drama in itself, and then you'll see why we ended up where we ended up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. You can find these videos on Anita Quest on Facebook and My Social Playpen on Twitter. So until we meet next time, do your due diligence, work really hard, do those background checks, find out as much as you can, talk to your attorney, get the meat and potatoes of the things that are, I don't know how you can keep from offending people who are as biased, but at least you know where you stand, and you may be able to plan something down the road. Take my advice on that, and again, take care of those babies, and never ever be afraid to tell the truth. We'll see you next time.